Dan, what are you playing?
So I am playing a game that is rated 0.4 by users on Metacritic.
Out of, well, what is the 0.4 out of?
10.
10.
That's
out of
low.
10.
That seems low.
That's pretty low.
Is that red? That seems red.
Oh, it's a little bit red.
I'm not sure what average is, but that does seem low. And he's correct on that.
It's,
Well, tell us why people are rating it so low.
So it's Warcraft 3 Reforged, or there's the joke is going around Warcraft 3 refunded, which I thought was kind of funny.
Well, hang on, guys. Hang on. Breaking news. There's been a surge in ratings. It's now at 0.5.
Oh, nice.
Yikes.
That's pretty sweet.
59 Metacritic score from critics. So they're both pretty low. Even if the user in, oh my god, 25,000 negative reviews.
That's why it's...
That's a lot of just butthurt nothings, though. Like, that can't be, like, legit reviews.
Yeah, it's just review
that's
bombing.
why
But, I mean,
it's a review bomb.
Bad.
One of the people's
product,
names
I'm
is
pretty sure.
Blizzard_Y.
Exactly.
Like,
and he
why?
made an account. I guarantee you that's from a website that's like, oh my god, go and attack
I'd
it.
rather have paid to prevent them from releasing this. You can no longer play using the old client, and even the menus run like beep.
Yeah, it broke the game for the people that already owned it for the last 17 years. And I was watching the
But I mean,
screenshots and the videos, and it doesn't look much improved. Like some of the assets for the characters a little bit improved.
But the thing is, see, this is my defense of it. It's an RTS game. It's not like they're trying to bring like Resident Evil 2 back to life. It's all it is a remaster. It's just to touch up some graphics. And I don't know about you, but I don't know many games that offer free online for 17 years. So the people that are like, oh, I can't play the old one on multiplayer.
Yeah,
well,
I actually didn't even know that it was still active.
They've had it for 17 years up, so you're welcome, like, for doing that.
So
most games after 2-3 years, they shut down the server and you can't play the multiplayer. But they offered this free service, so that's why I'm like, all right. I don't know why you're complaining.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people are mad because like the StarCraft 2 kind of update they did looked like a lot more drastic of a difference. And if you look at like Age of Empires 2, which had that HD remaster recently, which had like they actually changed how like the enemy AA units work. They used to like cheat and know what you were going to do, but now they copied them off of kind of pro Age of Empires players, just like things like that where they put a lot of extra care into like, all right, we're 20 years past this technology. What can we add to make this kind of more a special experience? And it just seems like even from the videos they had from 2018, like there were these close-up cinematic shots that looked kind of dramatic, and they just kind of pulled back, and it's all just almost verbatim what it was on launch of like 17 years ago. But
the thing is, it's an RTS game, to play. It's not supposed to be this amazing graphical, beast here. It takes away from some of the joy of it. Like Resident Evil 2 was meant to be a complete reboot. This is just a remaster. They're just touching up some graphics. The frame rate is 100% better, which, yeah, if that wasn't, that would be embarrassing. But and like I said, the little things that some people are complaining about, like they don't have like clan tags. Like, who cares? Like, great. So manually write it on a piece of paper so you know who your friend, so your clan is. Like, give me a break. Every friggin' game does this stupid clan thing, and it's pointless and boring. Like, oh yay, I'm team ASP2. Like, great.
So there's technically nothing wrong with how it runs or plays. It's just all
it doesn't. It's an RTS game. It doesn't look super fantastic. It's not like Diablo 3 type of thing, but I honestly like it. It still has that charm when I first played. It's some multiplayer issues every now and then where it tries to search for a game and it takes longer than normal. But no.
Do you feel like if you played the original Warcraft 3 right now, it would feel any different? Like, does it feel different?
Absolutely. The frame rate is extremely high. So it's beautiful, like moving from spot to, whereas the old game would chug.
Because they do that all the time. They do that on a lot of systems. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus, that was just prettier graphics, wasn't it? Every time they remastered it, and they were selling that for like what, $30-$40? Is this?
No, that was $60.
How much were they
30.
hacking this for?
That's the thing, and it comes also with Reign of Chaos and Frozen Throne campaign.
I don't know what those are.
So they're two full games.
Expansion packs.
Yeah.
That came out.
So, but it was a full-fledged campaign.
So why is-
so
I'm
if
sorry,
you
go on.
so if you think about it, that's $15 per campaign and the multiplayer with all the expansions. It's if you break it down, it's not bad. I just don't understand where it has the custom games that people can still play. I don't understand where people are coming from. And I've played this. I played this when it first was out.
Yeah.
So it's not like me coming into this game all brand new. I don't know what the old game. I played the old one a lot in high school. So, and it feels just like that, except just some nicer graphics and smoother frame rate.
As long as they were they promising anything different than that?
They were. So some of the
Yes.
things that they were saying is they wanted better cinematics, and they did. They did do cinematic views. So not when it was two characters walking next to each other, and it would the camera would kind of pan down to the actual characters that were in game. Those don't look fantastic, but it wasn't supposed to. The idea was the CG.
I mean, as long as they weren't promising anything that didn't happen, like misadvertising the game.
Well, they kind of were.
they
The
did
cinematic videos they had in
did on
2018 were a lot nicer than the final product.
They do have some features that, like I said, they did promise, but I don't think it's a huge deal breaker. Not No Man's Sky, where they were like, "Hey, this is going to be multiplayer," and then it wasn't. That's a big missing feature that you're missing. This one, they said, "Oh, there's going to be clans in it," and they have a spot where it says clan, but it's just not available at launch. It's going to be available soon. So, and again, what is that a big friggin' deal? It's just a neat thing that people
I mean,
are
if
throwing
I'm buying a game and they're promising me something in the game and it's not there, I'm usually pretty upset.
Yes, I know, but again.
So you're going the opposite. No,
I also feel I think this is a lot of people that are too I need to get everything that they thought about 5 years ago. They need to think of the developers and how they created this game and how much work goes into it and how much they need to work with. They might have hit a snag on something and was like, all right, you know what? I don't know if we can do that anymore with getting. I feel like they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. If they delay it, people are going to be friggin' pissed off like they always are.
I mean, I'm a huge proponent for I'm fine with delays if it makes the product better. That's just
absolutely.
me. So what would you if you ignore all of the negative buzz of the game, what would you actually rate the game if you were being unbiased about it? Or if you ignored all the negative buzz it was getting or anything like that, if you had just gotten the game, there weren't some things there that they said there was going to be there. They didn't really do much to it, but you're still having fun. What would you rate that?
I'd give it an 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
I don't. Again, if you look at half the zero scores, it's just people absolutely pissed off about the pettiest
no.
crap.
That's the extreme. I just mean what's kind of the middle ground. I
think it's probably a 7.5 or 8.
If I buy a game, even if it's $30, and they're promising me stuff that isn't in the game. I would be pretty upset about that.
Well, yes, but this is also something that
people were upset about No Man's Sky for not having things in the game that they said would be in there, especially if they're just reskinning an old game. I mean, that doesn't take a ton of work.
No, it doesn't take a ton of work, but they still need to touch up all the graphics of the game. They still need to make sure that they have the servers that can run these things. There's still a lot of work to do.
So I'm curious, Matt. You mentioned that the old one isn't working anymore. Why is that?
Well, it's not that it's not working. It's just that you have to download the new client to play it. So I think there's some issues with, and I'm not intimately familiar with it because I don't have it, but if you're trying to make, because there are a lot of new things that got added to this game, you can't make kind of custom campaigns, you can't use licensed kind of names and things like that. They're trying to stamp down on that. They also said anything that you create in game is kind of their property. They kind of got screwed when Dota became so popular in the Warcraft 3. And then, obviously it kind of spinned off into its own game. They don't want stuff like that to happen again. So it seems like there's a lot less, they're kind of stifling people's creativity, making it, there's a lot less incentive for people to kind of mess around and build something interesting, which is also kind of a bummer.
Wait, you can't, they're limiting the, I can't name myself Coca-Cola if I feel like it?
I mean, you could probably do that, but if you're making a custom map, you can't be you probably can't put a giant Coke.
Yeah, you can't use, but that's a legal thing that a lot of games don't do. Some what was it, Grand Theft Auto a few years ago had to remove a song because it was like not under license. So one of the updates removed a song completely. So
That's why for a majority of the songs in GTA 5, they did like this. Like, it sounded like the real songs, but it was really just like the same band over and over again, just playing covers of most of the songs.
what?
Like Radio Gaga, that wasn't Queen.
That wasn't?
No.
Holy shit.
I didn't look into it until our friend Katie mentioned it, and I'm like, really? I'll have to look into that. And then I listened to
No
it again. I'm
way.
like, oh yeah, that's not Queen.
Holy crap, that's...
They were close enough. But you're enjoying the game at the very least.
I am. It reminds me of when I played it in high school. Like I said, I'm still not very good at it, and I just, I still remember being extremely slow, and my other friend was really, really good at it, but... Yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. I'm getting my first real good use out of my PC.
So the game is not broken or anything. I just want to
No,
make sure
it
that
works
it's not
fine.
It still runs. It works.
It
Don't
was
worry.
no problem. Like I said,
Okay.
I think it's because people, a game of this caliber back then, it was a lot of people's like childhood dream or whatever to remake this, and and it's not gonna. It wasn't what Resident Evil 2 was. It's not.
I'm sure some of it has to do with kind of the general, people are so upset at Blizzard, and they've kind of fallen
Yeah,
from
let's
grace
just
to this
slam it again.
top 3 is some of people's most revered publisher, to just being like this company that just hit after hit is just like disappointing people over and over again. So they're just kind of wanting to pounce on anything they can too.
Yeah, but that's not fair using like past issues to kind of come at this game if it's not like warranted.
Well, that's what I mean. Like
I understand it getting like
It just seems
negative
like
reviews.
I think it magnifies it, like in making people review
25,000 negative reviews. That's a lot.
The other thing I don't understand is there was a lot of complaints about launch day issues, and every MMO, every game like that has issues. World of Warcraft, the
SimCity.
classic, had issues. Does that have what is? I'd be curious to know the user score of World of Warcraft.
You keep
Classic.
World of Warcraft Classic out of this. World of Warcraft Classic is a gem.
Well, it could
didn't-
be, it
they
could
didn't have
not, but
any
it
launch
did.
day issues,
You
did they?
you can, yeah, they had a lot of it. I remember you said
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so
It took a while to like log on to the server, right?
It took a long time to log into the server. There was parts where like certain places of the map were kind of restricted. I got trapped in the city for a certain amount of time. There were NPCs just weren't there. It was kind of messed up.
Pieced out.
yeah, so that's broken. That's not working appropriately. And whereas again, Warcraft 3 is a lot smaller and it's a lot easier to make.
They also didn't really remake World of Warcraft Classic. They actually just took stuff out of current WoW to make it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean it's essentially exactly like it was on launch day. They didn't like make it look much better.
Yeah,
or anything like that. They didn't update it or add any cutscenes.
Honestly, they haven't really made that entire world look better much over the years, in my opinion. There's still areas I look up and it's like, oh, look at that 8-bit cloud. It's still chugging along its JPEG.
Yeah, it's just so weird that it's like a 15-year-old game and it's technically the same game, but they've made a bunch of improvements, so it's definitely better looking than the old game, but it's also still the same game. So
with launch day
amazing.
issues and the game being broken, only 153 ratings for a 6.2 for users.
I wonder if I think Metacritic was trying to get rid of a lot of the
bots and
fake
crap.
reviews,
Yeah,
though. So because that's a year later.
It's
been out for a year,
They
right?
should take
Less than a
away
year?
the zero.
WoW Classic? No, it's only been out since like September.
Oh, okay, so that's after
Around
like
there?
5
Well,
months.
they should
August.
find a way to prevent.
I'm
like,
sure that more than that number of people reviewed that game on Metacritic.
Oh, absolutely. They're all like half of them are probably fake
Yeah.
accounts or a giant like website said, "Hey, everyone go here and mark a 0." And if it, like, obviously the game is not a 0. 0 is completely unplayable. Like, here, I made a game. It's, flip this book and it has a guy jump. Like,
Yeah, you
that's
seem to
not
be
a
more
game.
sad about just like the review bombing nature, but I feel like that kind of the critics review of like what was it, like 60 or 60 something? That seems like that
59.
Seems, yeah, 59.
That's where I can see.
That seems like a more reasonable difference between.
Out of 25 reviews, it was 2 positive, 21 mixed, 2 negative. So the
So
majority
it was,
of people
it
are
was,
mixed.
Yeah, it was mixed.
Which still isn't great. 59
No,
is
it's
great.
not great. But I again, that's why I can't stand the it's a 0 and it's getting more flack.
And then there's a
than what
bunch
it
of these
deserves.
guys where it's in progress reviews. There's like
Well, look at
8
Battlefront
of
2.
those.
Battlefront 2 has one of the worst user scores.
Still.
Yeah, it's like 0.1 or 0.2. It's one of the lowest. All because they had like a microtransaction thing. You know how many games have microtransactions in it? So, I mean, there's a lot of $60 games that have
Ooh, 1.3 user score.
1.3.
So this is
Okay.
the PC version. I don't know if that counts.
Oh yeah, check the PlayStation 4 one. That's the.
But anyways,
So no,
hopefully,
I'm
they
in-
fix the things and people stop getting.
well, that's the only good thing I can also say for the people that are pissed off is usually these companies listen now because they're trying to save face. So they're now giving refunds instantly. They were kind of being a pain in the ass about that before. Now they're apparently immediately doing it. So if you bought it and you're mad and don't like it, you can get a refund. So that's also a good thing because, I mean, you open a game from GameStop and try and take it back, they're not going to take it. So I don't know. I just think a lot of people are a little bit entitled in this situation. They're just kind of expecting a little too much. Again, if they charged $60 for it, yes, I think they would have I would have rated it a little bit lower, less of a value. But I like I said, I $15 per campaign and then a multiplayer and custom games. I think that's fair.